Hello everybody, welcome to Mark Goldbridge. That's football. It's Super Sunday, 4:30 kickoff between West Ham United and Liverpool. And I will tell you this. I'll say this right now. I think that this could be a really difficult game for Liverpool tonight. They need to win, don't they? They do need to win. They're currently down in fourth place, but they're 7 points behind Manchester City with the same amount of games played. So remember, Man City will have another game in hand again today. So 7 points behind. If they were to lose this game and Man City were to win their game in hand, they would be 10 points clear of Liverpool. So Liverpool need to win this today. And the team news ain't great. The team news is not great for Liverpool again. No Mane, and Firmino is on the bench for them. So they do have issues. We'll start off with Liverpool's team then. So Alisson in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Phillips, Henderson and Robertson. No Matip, of course, he's injured again. Thiago, Wijnaldum and Milner. And then Shaqiri, Origi and Salah. So no Fabinho now, no Matip now, no Mane now. They are really getting a lot of injuries. I mean, look, I'm not going to be sympathetic to Liverpool as a Manchester United fan, but you almost have to be a bit sympathetic to the fact that they have had so many injuries. And it's going to be really difficult for them today because they just don't, no Mane is very, very difficult. Their centre-back situation, and as we know, with West Ham and Antonio, he's a bloody handful, and he will be a handful for Henderson and Phillips at the back there. So it's going to be a tough game for them as well. West Ham's team, no Jesse Lingard. He has signed on loan for West Ham, but he's not even made the bench today. Their starting lineup is Fabianski, Kufal, Dawson, Ogbonna and Cresswell. Soucek and Rice, who've been fantastic this season, may I just say. Bowen, Benrahma, Fornells, and then Antonio up front. But no place for Jesse Lingard on the bench. He doesn't make the bench for West Ham. So that is your score. That is your team. Score predictions wise, I'm probably going to say, I think this might be a draw. I think it might be a draw, to be honest. It'd be a fantastic result for Liverpool if they can win. They definitely deserve to beat Spurs on Thursday night. And what I would say is that Liverpool were a lot better on Thursday night. But West Ham are doing really good at the moment. Really, really good. And they will go into this game almost as a shot to nothing, really. Of course, West Ham fans are going to want to win. But it is a bit of a shot to nothing game because they could easily get a result here, which would obviously surprise a lot of people. But in the league context, if West Ham win, they go above Liverpool. They can go up to fourth place today. So real opportunity for Liverpool. This is really about, I wouldn't say it's last chance saloon, but it's about if they can find the results in these sort of games, then maybe they can stay in that title race. But I think West Ham have got a great opportunity today. Really, really do. Leicester toothless without Vardy, says Anarud. Yes, Leicester losing 3-1 to Leeds, and I think that was always going to be the issue. You take Jamie Vardy out that Leicester side. I said it last week. You take Leicester out that Vardy out that Leicester side, and they're just not the same, and their opportunity to go up to second place is gone. So from a Manchester United point of view, really, Leicester not winning. If Liverpool don't win, we maintain second place. But look, Manchester City at the moment look like a side that are going to run away with it. Leeds done us a favour beating Leicester, says Shoaib. And yes, and Diddy was missing 2 marks, says Tala. So yeah, another player as well. I'm not doing the Royal Rumble, so you can talk about the Royal Rumble all you like. I know I said I was going to do it, but I can't do it. I wanted to do it, I just can't do it. So apologies for that. But we are doing Super Bowl next week, definitely 100%. So apologies about the Royal Rumble. It was part of my plan to do it, I just can't do it. So there's no point in even contemplating it or saying please do it, because I just won't be doing it. So I'm sad about it. It's one of those things, can't really do too much. So thank you everybody for asking, but it won't be happening. We're 5 minutes away from kickoff then. What is your score prediction in this game? I've gone with a draw. I'll probably say 2-2, just to be a little bit more out there. I'm going to go 2-2, but 1-1, yeah, maybe. I don't think it'll be 0-0, but I tell you what I am. I'm really looking forward to watching this game, because I think that with how well I think Declan Rice can do a job for Manchester United. So this is an opportunity for Declan Rice, isn't it? Declan Rice doesn't need to impress me, but for any United fans out there that aren't sure whether Declan Rice is good enough to be a player for a top 4 side, I think this is West Ham against a top 4 side, a champion of England in many ways. That's what they are, and I look at that Liverpool midfield of Wijnaldum, Thiago, and Milner, and if Soucek and Rice can get hold of that, then. Happy days. Hoping for a West Ham win, says Fowler Rodney. Leeds done us a favour, we've done that. Mark, what do you call a mix between you and Harry Maguire? Mark Goldbridge. Uber Melon, that's not a bad joke. Yeah, there you go. West Ham for the win, says Tawana. Thoughts on Chelsea today, says okay then. I didn't watch the Chelsea game. I very nearly did. I was going to do a watch along for it, but I just thought, you know what? Burnley are a tough team to watch at times, and if I was going to predict the win in that game, I would have said 1 or 2-0 to Chelsea. So, good 3 points for Chelsea, but I think it's a bit like Arsenal, really. I think for Chelsea, they've got a weird season ahead of them, Chelsea, because it's about Champions League football for Chelsea, isn't it? And they're currently on 33 points with 21 games played. So Chelsea are, one way or another, they're going to be 6 points off the 4th spot, which isn't a lot. It's not a lot, but it's who they're chasing for that top 4 spot. Chelsea will fancy their chances of getting in the top 4. They'll look at who the top 4 clubs are at the moment, and they'll think, you know what, we reckon we can. They've got to be. I mean, Chelsea Spurs on Thursday night, and I'm doing a watch along for that. That's a massive game for Chelsea. Chelsea got to win that game, because if Tottenham beat Chelsea, I think Chelsea are probably out of the top 4 race as early as it is in the season. I think Chelsea's main aim is top 4. I don't think they're not going to win the Champions League, so their main aim is going to be top 4 in relation to what they want to achieve. So, but Chelsea, they needed the win. They'll be disappointed they didn't get the win against Wolves, actually. But Chelsea potentially got a good chance. I mean, but then again, Arsenal will be saying, why have we not got a chance at top 4 then? We're only 2 points behind Chelsea. But I think Chelsea actually have got better players than most of the teams that are fighting for top 4 today. So we'll see how it goes in that sense. But it's definitely interesting. Spurs are playing Brighton tonight. Spurs need to win tonight. They do. They definitely do. I got nearly 6,000 watching. Thanks everyone for tuning in. United will finish 8th. What a laugh, says Tony Shields. We're second at the moment, mate, and we've lost 1 game since October, which was Sheffield United, which was very embarrassing. But unless you're Man City, get in the shadows and get in the queue, because we're second. My preferred United lineup is 4-5-1, says Tariq. De Gea, Shaw, Maguire, Bailly, Wan-Bissaka, Fred as a 6, Pogba and Fernandes as 8, Rashford, Cavani and Van der Beek as a right winger. Interesting. Still disappointed about Manchester United, to be honest with you, but there you go. It is what it is. Mark, John West says not for long. Yes, for now. John, you can talk about the future for as long as you want. Manchester United are the second best team in England at the moment. That is where we are. Talk about the future. Talk about 0-0s. Talk about you're going to catch us up. Talk out your arse. We are second in the league. That's where we are. And everybody else who's coming to challenge for us, that is our challenge to stay there. But right now, we are second. I'm disappointed with the result last night. I'm very disappointed with Sheffield United. But we've got Southampton on Tuesday night. Then we've got Everton. 2 tough games. We need to win both of those games. And then we've got West Brom. So we'll see. We are second best, yes. You can rub your chin emojis if you want to. But yeah, we are second best. But that's still massive progress for Manchester United, because we've not been anywhere near a title coming up for 10 years. So it is progress. It's not where I want to be, but you can't be, we're not the finished article by a very long way. So where we are at the moment isn't actually that bad. We're 1 minute away from kickoff here. I hope we're going to get a good game. That's what I want to see tonight. I think it would be amazing if West Ham could win. I think West Ham are a team like everybody else. Lorient 3, PSG 2. Not finding it easy in France, says Stephen B. Harry. I think from West Ham's point of view, they lose Antonio or someone like that and they become a weaker side, of course. But they've got their players out tonight and they'll fancy their chances, of course. We're about to kick off here. I've gone with a draw. I've gone with 2-2. Founded in 1895. That's West Ham United for you. What year were Liverpool founded in? We're off. Kickoff. I used to have a computer game that started like that. I can't remember what the game was. I'm going to throw the live comments over to you as well. If you can think of any good questions, get them in the live comments. We'll go through some of those. But I don't know what's going on here. There's an early banging of heads between, is it Wijnaldum and Antonio? Yeah. Big lad, Antonio. And he will definitely be wanting to bully that young, well, I don't know how young he is, Phillips, but inexperienced centre-back pairing of Henderson and Phillips for Liverpool. So Wijnaldum will... Antonio is going to be key in this game. I think he makes West Ham a real handful. I like Jared Bowen, Kevin. I really like Jared Bowen. I think he's really impressive, and he's one of those players, isn't he, where you say I think he could do a better job than West Ham. But let's put a bit of respect on West Ham's name. I'm quite excited to watch West Ham tonight because I think they've been doing fantastically well. Antonio unlucky last week, be hungry today, says Phil Foden. Did you enjoy the podcast with DT and Robbie, says Hazardude. It was alright, good grown up conversation. I worry about I actually did enjoy that. I did enjoy it, and I worry about where fan content's heading. It's got nothing to do with me. I can only hand an opinion on it, but I still keep seeing these clips of aggression and hate, and I'm like, oh, you know what? It just really embarrasses me to operate in this genre and see the vile hate that is chucked out by some people for views and stuff. West Ham to win 1-0, says Shoaib, and it's my birthday today, Mark. First time I've been able to get a United shirt since the 08 season. Keep up the good work, says Sar. Happy birthday, mates. Andy Robertson's just come down the left-hand side and won an early corner for Liverpool. Man City was founded in 2008, says Tariq. Okay, so Andy Robertson's got the cross coming in here for Liverpool. Origi and Shaqiri playing in the front three with Salah today. Firmino on the bench and no Mane. So Liverpool are severely hampered by injuries at the moment. I mean, Gomez, Van Dijk, Mane, Fabinho, Matip. But also, what the new lad they got in from Jota from Wolves. So they've got a lot of injuries at the moment. A lot of injuries for Liverpool, and it makes it very difficult for them. But I always felt Liverpool, if they lose Mane or Salah, are severely weakened anyway, as any team is. But a ridiculous amount of injuries for them. I'm sure they'll be looking at that as a club because it was something. The funny thing about Liverpool is, and what I would say is that over the last 3 years, they've been relentlessly good, haven't they? They've won the title. They nearly won the title. They won the Champions League. They've been relentless in their pursuit of success, but they didn't really pick up many injuries in those times. Is that a factor in why they're now getting so many injuries? Because they have been so relentless the last few years. I don't know. I don't follow Liverpool enough to know that. I'm not doing the Tottenham game, Danielle, because we've got the 8 o'clock show on the United stand and we've got Ricky on there tonight. And his Bruno agenda. We'll be having a chat about that. But if you was offered a manager job for Man United, would you handle it well? And who would you bring into the team? Well, I've not done any high-level management, so I think anybody always fancy their chances. But I'm never going to sit here in front of 7,000 people and say I could do a better job than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I mean, I literally couldn't. I've not done any coaching at that level, but man management and stuff like that, I think you'd hope that you could bring something to the club. I could definitely do a better director of football job than Ed Woodward. And people will say, "Oh, look at Goldbridge saying that." Well, I could definitely do a better director of football job of Ed Woodward because I actually know more about football than Ed Woodward. I think most of you do as well. So that's a job I would like to do for United because it would be infinitely better than the jobs that's done at the moment. But Liverpool having a lot of the ball, though. I mean, I think maybe premature thoughts about this being a game that Liverpool will lose. Maybe. Shaqiri gets it into Origi. Shoots into the side. Not quite the side netting. A draw would be a great result for United. I think a draw would be a very good result for Manchester United, actually. Liverpool are playing Manchester City next week. Will you be doing a watch-along, says Timmy Turner. I will. But I think if Man City win that game, they've probably just about wrapped the title up. And I think they probably will win that game because Mane's probably not going to be back, is he? Are Liverpool going to have any players back for that game? And I think they'll be massive underdogs against Manchester City. Did you not see that post about Liverpool having more players with asthma than any other team, and that also they're cycling off steroids, hence the drop in form? Says Night R7. No, not seen anything about that. As Ricky, if Phil Jones is better than Bruno, says CMTHW. Palestri's gone on loan to Alaves. Good. Hopefully get some good first team football there. Mark, you always say Ollie needs time to learn. He's been a manager for 12 years now. What are you hoping will change in his mindset? Says Avash. Well, I don't necessarily agree with that point because I think that I'm trying to think, at the end of the day, if you gave Eddie Howe the Man United job or you gave Graham Potter or Hasenhüttl the Man United job, they've probably got years and years of experience of managing clubs between them, but they've never managed Manchester United. It's a huge job, and all right, he's managed Mulder and Cardiff. He's never managed a big club, so I think there's a lot to learn at the highest level. I think if you manage Chelsea, Manchester United, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, then you are managing a bigger club than you could ever manage. And it's just because you've managed well at Bournemouth doesn't mean you've got all the skills available. The reality is you're going to be managing better players, bigger expectations, bigger fan base, bigger media problems. So I think he's learning a lot in relation to that. But also at the highest level, you have more challenges as a coach. If you manage Manchester United, you're going to have more demands on you as a coach than you are if you're managing Sheffield United, because you can pretty much play the same way every week if you're Sheffield United, because some teams will come at you. Most teams are going to come at you, so you can play the way you want to play. When you're Manchester United, different teams are going to do different things. Some of them will come at you, most of them will sit back against you. So you've got to be tactically adaptive, and I think that's something Solskjaer hasn't been. Hi Mark, what did you make of the Leicester game? Says Joseph Davies. Look, fair play to Leeds. I think Leeds are I didn't actually watch the game. I had an eye on it, but Leeds are capable of doing those results, aren't they? They're also capable of getting beaten 4-3 by Bournemouth. That's just the way Leeds are. I'm not surprised that Leeds beat Leicester, is what I'm trying to say. Thoughts on people asking you stupid questions, says the Kid J. I don't think there's any such thing as a stupid question. You just don't read it, do you? But Liverpool having a lot of the ball here in the first 8 minutes, and West Ham haven't settled yet. Be a massive win. If Liverpool can get the win, I am yawning a lot. I fucking had a terrible night's sleep last night. I don't know about you lot. I am so tired. It's one of the reasons I can't do the Royal Rumble, because I've got loads on tomorrow. But I'm absolutely knackered. I was dropping off to sleep at about 11 o'clock last night, and then have you ever had that where you're dropping off to sleep and you think I'll be asleep in a minute, and then that'll be me for the night. I was dropping off, and the next thing I know, I'm wide awake, and I didn't go to bed till about 1:20, pissing about on my phone, watching Game of Thrones on Sky Atlantic that I've already seen before. I just don't know. Thiago gets it wide to Milner. If Ollie finishes in the top 3 and can win a trophy, that's huge progress, says Aaron. Yeah, I think from United's point of view, we're just reassessing our expectations, aren't you? We loved being top of the league, as we have a right to be. We dared to dream for a little bit, and I think we've had a reality bump that United can beat anybody on their day, but we can also be beaten by anybody on our day, and that's what happened with Sheffield United. And Arsenal gave us a good game. I think we could have won that. They could have won it. It was quite an equal game. So we know we're still a work in progress. We know we need a right winger, centre back, CDM, and that's where we're at. That's where we are at Manchester United at the moment. But I think for a moment we thought we might win the league. That's not going to happen. Do you have a TV licence, says Oscar Griffiths? I don't really understand what this question's all about, to be honest with you. LOL says I'd take top 4 in the FA Cup. Tuchel is crap, says Gaz Elliott. I'm not a big fan of Tuchel, to be honest with you, but he will definitely do a better job than Lampard. You can't deny that. I will be doing a Chelsea Spurs watch along, Alex, on Thursday. So the week ahead is Man United Southampton on Tuesday and Chelsea and that'll be on the United stand. Chelsea Spurs on Thursday. Man City Liverpool a week today. And I think I'm right in saying that United are playing at 8 o'clock on next Saturday night, but I'm sure I'm doing a game on Saturday lunchtime as well. Villa Arsenal 12:30 on Saturday lunchtime. We'll do that on here as well. Loving what Villa are doing at the moment. Really am. But a bit of a tetchy start here so far. Both teams will feel that they've had a good start, but final third quality not quite there. Not really settled down a little bit here. All my mates are calling me deluded for thinking Arsenal can get top 4. Do you agree with them, says Smatty Boom. Thanks for the question. These are the sort of questions that we want to be discussing whilst we're watching this game. Can Arsenal get top 4? If we were starting the season afresh, I'd say you've got as much chance as anyone else of getting top 4. I mean, obviously, Liverpool and Man City aside, they're going to take 2 spots, but there's another 2 spots, and I think if the season was starting tomorrow, Arsenal would have a good chance. The reality is, you're not. It's a handicap. You're starting, 10 points down, really, on, you're 10 points behind United, and if Liverpool win, you're 10 points behind them, and you are 8 points off Leicester. But the problem is, you're in 10th place. So even if Arsenal have aspirations of catching the top 4, they've also got to hope that Villa, Everton, Chelsea, Tottenham, West Ham don't catch the top 4 and be consistent as well. So it's not impossible for Arsenal to get top 4. I'd be very surprised. As a percentage, I think you've got a 20% chance. I don't think you've got a very big chance of doing it. And I don't know what Arsenal's priorities are going to be, because they don't have an amazing squad in relation to depth. But it's also their next few Premier League games. You've got Wolves, Villa, Leeds, City, Leicester. If you come out of those 5 games with 13 points, 4 wins and a draw, you've got a good chance of getting top 4. But if you come out of those games with 7 points, you're not making any points up, are you? So Arsenal have basically got to win. They needed to win last night, didn't they, as well? Do you think Shaw can be like Everett to the club? He was 18 when we got him, and he's going to be 26 this year. One of the most important to the team. Says I think Luke Shaw's a fantastic player for Man United at the moment. He's so important. Zayn Miasi says, Mark, as you said, Arteta is better than Ollie. You can have him. He will give you the Europa League, and we will get Rodgers. Zayn is an Arsenal fan who wants rid of Arteta. Hello, Zayn. I think give him time. I really do. Best result for Man United today is a draw. Really. I'm tempted to say a West Ham win, to be honest with you, but a draw for United would be better, wouldn't it? But Salah down the left-hand side. I think Liverpool have started off really well in this game, considering, and they've got another 2 players out, Matip and Mane from the last game. Which London club is most likely to get top 4? Aaron, I would still say Chelsea. I think because the quality Chelsea have got and the new potential for a new manager bounce, I would still say Chelsea. But, I might be wrong on that. And at the moment, you'd have to say West Ham. I mean, Spurs couldn't, they're about as consistent as a runny custard. And Chelsea have got a bit of catching up to do. Corner, Robertson, headed away. Thanks for the super chats, by the way. You can do that through the $sign if you want to. Apparently, Teden Mengi's going on loan to Derby, which is interesting because we're not well stacked at centre-back. There you go. Which then I've done that one. I'm a Man United fan, says Dylan, but I have to watch how actual football is played. Liverpool, Man City. Man United, boring to watch. Thanks, Ollie, says Dylan. PSG have lost as well. Nice little ball into Milner in the box. Lays it off to Origi. He's on the left-hand side. Back to Milner. Liverpool just starting to get a handle on the possession at the moment. And Shaqiri's had to go back there. But all the way back to the keeper, to Alisson. Do I think United are still in a title race, as Jaden? Well, get answering yourselves when we get these good questions in. Get answering yourselves. I think United are still in a title race because they're second in the league, and it's only January. So, United have to be in a title race, otherwise City have won the title. So, of course, we're in a title race. Do I think United can genuinely win the title? Not really. I'd love it to happen, but I don't think so. You can't trust these players. There's not enough tactical squad innovation within game. Substitutions come too late. Dangers are not spotted. So I think we will drop some more points. And I think when you're already behind Man City, it makes it very, very difficult. But lovely play by Liverpool there. Good header away by West Ham. Liverpool dominating the ball a bit at the moment, but cross comes in. And Declan Rice gives the foul up. He's having a bit of a dodgy game at the moment, Declan Rice there. Mark, we've outplayed you twice and you think you can win the league, so logically we can get top 4. Zane, you don't understand football, do you? Like, you've got the fact that you've outplayed us twice. Well, you didn't outplay us yesterday, so that's Barry bullshit. And the second point is you're 10 points behind us. So what has us being in a title race got to do with you being in a top 4 race? Problem with Arsenal is you drop stupid points to teams like Crystal Palace at home and everybody else. You've dropped silly points. You are where you deserve to be, unfortunately. I think if you were starting from a fresh, as I said, Arsenal are looking like they've finally hit a bit of form under Arteta, but the season's halfway over. So, I think Arsenal need to focus on the Europa League, to be honest. Cleared away by West Ham. Edge of the box. Thiago straight into the crowd. Good shot, though. And it's gone for a foul to West Ham. But no, I think you've got to put United in a title race because they're second in the league. But, even if Liverpool win today, they're still a point behind United. But realistically, Man City are big favourites. Liverpool are second favourites. And then United are probably third favourites, best of the rest. I certainly don't think Spurs, Chelsea, Leicester, West Ham, they're not in the title race. So it's Liverpool, Man City, isn't it, for the title? And Liverpool don't look like they're going to do it either. YT says there's no title race. City have already won it. Well, that's not true yet, but I can understand why people would think that. They're very big favourite. I mean, the thing about Man City is that everybody knows Man City are a fantastic footballing side, but they're also rock solid at the back. Like, they've got the perfect combination now. They're the best team in the league, aren't they? And the best team in the league should win the league. So at the moment, Man City look like winning the title because they're the best side in the league. You'd be very silly not to have them as firm favourites, but not yet. But I mean, Man City, they've got. I can tell you what their next few fixtures are, and if they come through those fixtures with lots and lots of wins, then it's basically going to be their title. They've got. I know they've got Burnley midweek, which you'd fancy them to win there. Burnley on Wednesday night. Then they've got Liverpool next Sunday. Then they've got Tottenham, Arsenal, West Ham. Now, if they win those 4 games, they're basically going to win the league, aren't they? Then they've got United at the start of March. So, if West Ham come through those games, if Man City come through those games with 4 or 5 wins, they've won the league because they haven't got enough difficult games left. Mark, we lost to Crystal Palace. Deluded, says United TV. Mate, I'm talking about why Arsenal. When I say the reason Arsenal are not in a top 4 race is because they're drawing with Crystal Palace, it literally happened about 3 weeks ago. Manchester United lost on the opening day and they lost to Spurs 2 games after that. But we're in second place, 10 points ahead of Arsenal. When I'm talking about why Arsenal aren't in the top 4, I'm talking about the silly points they've dropped in the last 2 or 3 months. United had a bad start to the season, but we haven't dropped many points since October. The challenge to get into the top 4 was there in sort of October time when Man City were dropping points and Liverpool were dropping points. And United, to be fair, went on an amazing run to get themselves where they are. Arsenal haven't done that. Chelsea haven't done that. Spurs haven't done that. So yeah, you can mention Man United losing to Crystal Palace. You can mention us losing 6-1 to Spurs next. But where are Spurs and where are United? Complain about the way we play, etc. But the consistency of United over a 3-month period has put us where we are now. Odegaard will help us get top 4 and Pepe is hitting form now. You are now seeing his true potential. Will Arsenal play Champions League next year, says Isaac. I think Arsenal would do well to focus on the Europa League. I don't think you can focus on a top 4 race and the Europa League, especially when you're 10 points down on the top 4 race. So Arsenal are going to have to make a decision soon, especially considering they've got Benfica in the Europa League. There's no easy games in the Europa League. I think there's a lot of teams in the Europa League that will fancy their chances. Chelsea aren't one of the favourites, says Dylan. They can ride new manager bounce, plus Tuchel is a decent manager. Liverpool without Mane are just not the same. Will beat us last week. Couldn't hit an elephant with a spatula so far this half, says Loz. Why are so many Arsenal fans talking about top 4 and how bad we are? You're not even top 6 yet, says United Live. Mark, playing devil's advocate, maybe the board don't want to give Ollie funds after buying James, Wan-Bissaka and Maguire. Not great investments, says Red Baron. Not a bad shout. Hi Mark, when will you finish your Man United career mode? Would you do a Villa career mode like you did on FIFA 20, says Miles. Well, I might do, but I think the fact that Villa are doing well in real life probably wouldn't fit the profile of the team that I would want to do. Who's your second team in the Premier League at the moment, says Gensa? Probably Villa, because it's my most local team to where I live, and I know a lot of Villa fans, so I'd probably say Villa are my second team at the moment. And I really like Grealish, so. But I'd like West Ham to do well now. Lingard's gone there as well, so. I think any team. The trouble is, as a United fan, I'm no fan of Liverpool, I'm no fan of Chelsea, I'm no fan of Arsenal, I'm no fan of City, and because they're rivals, really. So I don't want them to. I'm never going to look at them and say, oh, they're doing well. I can respectfully watch them and say that they're playing well, but I'm never going to really want them to win. But when you've got teams like West Ham and Villa doing well, and Everton, I naturally want them to do well because they're not really a threat, are they? It's nice to see them doing well. Leicester the same. Recent fans say Vidic and Rio are great centre-backs for Man United, but Pallister and Stam are legends, not mentioned nearly enough. Your opinion on them, says Extreme. I think it's just the passage of time, isn't it? Rio and Vidic are the most recent decent centre-backs that we had, but Gary Pallister was superb, and Jaap Stam was as well. Cross comes in from Liverpool. Liverpool are starting to get a bit of head of steam up, but they're not really creating anything. Here's Declan Rice. Plays it wide. And he tries to get Antonio in. Do a not Forest career mode road to glory, says Noah Fox. Do you really think Rice will solve our CDM problem? Maybe he's good because he has a player like Soucek next to him, says Winster. I don't think that Manchester United will buy Declan Rice anyway. Would you take Haaland and Grealish for Rashford and Martial, says Sean Negative Turner? I wouldn't want Manchester United I wouldn't want Manchester United to lose either of those players, but I certainly think that, Marcus Rashford's a player that you want to stay at the club for a long time. Harvey Barnes could do a job for us on the left. I think Harvey Barnes could do a few teams a job on the left. He's having a very good season, isn't he? 22 minutes gone, 0-0 at the moment, and Liverpool putting a lot of work in on the ball, but not a lot going on. Is it, really? West Ham, I would say, defensively are quite comfortable at the moment. Mark, which Premier League player do you think is the best looking, says MK? Oh, my God. I don't know, because I don't rock the boat that way. So I've got no idea. I look at a man and I think the most I would think about a man is if they smell nice. I'd be tempted to say, oh, where'd you get that aftershave from? But even then I'd be worried they got the wrong idea. Can you imagine that? You're in a pub and I come up to you and say, you smell nice. Where'd you get that from? You're going to get all sorts of thoughts going through your head. And I wouldn't blame you, because if someone came up to me in a pub and said, you smell nice, where'd you get that from? Actually, I wouldn't be bothered. I wouldn't think about them wanting to go on a date with me. West Ham with the cross. It's got to be a goal. What's he doing? What is he doing, number 9 there? Was it Fornells? Why did he not hit it first time? What a prat. Lovely cut back. I think it's Cresswell who cuts it back. I'm sure it's Fornells. He's got to hit it, wasn't it? It was Ben Rama. Why didn't he hit it? Madness. I don't know why he just doesn't hit it. First time, hit it. Watch this back. Down the left-hand side from West Ham. Cross comes in. Well, maybe actually it's a little bit difficult to hit it first time. I'd have to see it from a better angle than this bloody stupid one. Oh no, they're not showing the chance now. Rubbish camera angles. Sack the cameraman or woman. If Ollie doesn't win a title this year, would you take an Allegri or Nagelsmann to replace him, says Noah Fox? Well, I don't think that will happen, to be fair. If you were to support another team in the European top flight, who would you choose and why? James, Juventus has always been my team in away from England. Antonio's got it on the left-hand side here. Cuts in past Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's a terrible ball. Lazy ball from Antonio there. He just didn't look up and played a pass straight to Liverpool. And it's Salah running away. Vignac. Hold on a minute, Vignac. Origi's got it. And he plays it to Thiago. And Shaqiri gets it wide. If we finish a distant second or third, will Director of Football Goldbridge renew Ollie's contract? If yes, what will be the targets for the next contract, says Vignac. Are you doing at home with Goldbridge? Last video was class, says Kenya. I'm thinking of doing another one this week, yeah. United compared to Liverpool and City, I see movement off the ball and also there's a massive gap from defence to attack. We sit too deep, says Tom Boone. Zane, we had so many clear-cut chances. Your best chance hit the bar from a free kick. You got pushed back the whole game at home and you dominated, deluded, says Compilation Central. Mark, I feel really uncomfortable with this mob mentality of targeting one player and leaving the other players. It doesn't seem fair. AC Milan better than Juve, says Red Baron. I would agree with you on those points, yeah. I would do. If I was Director of Football and Manchester United finished second or third, but we were a long way behind Man City, well, remember that's exactly what Jose Mourinho did. He finished second, a long way behind Man City, and then got sacked the following season, didn't he? So, if we finish second, lovely ball into Salah, takes it down, he's in the box. Shaqiri hits a shot, goes for a corner, and Liverpool should have scored there. Good block by Dawson, but they should have scored there. It's a long ball into Salah in the box. It's a lovely ball by Henderson, actually. Right over the back four. Salah takes it down. I think it's a handball by Salah, to be honest. I'm surprised it wasn't. But it's gone for a corner anyway. Dawson getting his foot in the way. So yeah, if United finish second or third, and but they're a long way off City, then you can't sack Solskjaer because he's got Champions League football, which I think was not looking definite after the summer transfer window that we had. So I'd give him a new contract. I'd give him a centre-back and a right winger and a CDM, and then I'd say, right, let's see where you are in a year. And I'd probably give him a 2-year contract, because that way you're really only giving him a year. But I reckon they'll give him a 3-year contract. But I'd give him 2. Give him a 2-year deal. Good tackle by Declan Rice. Wijnaldum's got it now. Wide ball to Trent. Do a Burnley career mode, says Merlin. A lot of people seem to want me to do a Burnley career mode. I won't be doing a Villa one, so maybe a Burnley one wouldn't be a bad idea. I never thought I'd do a Burnley career mode, but there's a part of me thinking, you know what, I wouldn't mind doing a Burnley career mode. There's something mystical about Turf Moor. Do you think Jose should have been given more time, Jack? He hasn't been sacked, has he? So I think he's... Oh, at Man United, yeah. No. It was time to go with Jose. When I say a manager's got to go, it's time to go. And I'm not saying I've got some divine right, but anybody who watches the United stand knows that I'm quite patient. I don't know whether we've got Paul Robinson, one of our moderators, in the live comments. I haven't seen him today, but I said that we played Sevilla in the Champions League under Mourinho in the March, and a lot of people said Mourinho out then. And I was like, no, let's give him a summer. And then we started the season not great. And I was like, let's just give him a bit more time. And by that time, I'd say maybe 50-60% of our fan base wanted Jose out. We went to West Ham, funnily enough. He played McTominay at centre-back. We were shit. We were absolutely shit. We lost. And that was it. I said, I'm Mourinho out now. And he still survived another couple of months. But I said, no, that's it for me. He's got to go. So I never would have given Mourinho more time. I wouldn't have given Van Gaal more time. So I think we sacked the right managers at the right time. I just think the board appointed the wrong managers in the first place. Mourinho should have come in after Sir Alex, not after being sacked by Chelsea. So, yeah, I mean, I must be honest. I think I have said Ollie out. I don't know whether I actually went get him out. He's not the right manager, but definitely against Burnley last season, just before Bruno came in, I'd had enough. I was like, no, he's not the right man. And then we bought Bruno, and I was like, look, this is the player I want us to get. I've got to back the manager. But when I'm consistent, basically when I say a manager out and I'm calm, that's when it's time to go. I mean, I think I've said it, as I said, after that Burnley game, I wasn't happy with Ollie a year ago, but when I say it, I tend to I won't change my mind. Southampton career mode's not a bad shout, Blake, either. Would you take Werner for a cut price, says Mr. Wacken. Thoughts on Mengi going to Derby, says Ben Sayers. I still think there's a good player in Werner. I just wonder whether he's getting to that point at Chelsea already where it might not be working out for him. And I'm surprised that Mengi's gone to Derby, but ultimately it's a good deal because he needs game time. And, you know, we have got Twansebi, Maguire, Lindelof. We've got four centre-backs, haven't we? So we should be okay. Thanks. I couldn't do a West Ham career mode because they're doing well, Henry. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. Odegaard came on yesterday, but not Van der Beek, says Big Josh. No, he didn't. You're right. You're right. Tonight's the night, tonight. Whoa. We're going to make it right. Tonight's the night, tonight. Half an hour gone in this game. We're 500 subscribers away from 310,000. So please subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. I was just checking on the back system there. We're 500 away. So let's see if we can hit 310,000 today. Thanks everyone for tuning in, by the way. Anybody's welcome on this channel. That's football. We do lots of different watch-alongs on here. Basically, it doesn't matter who you support on here because it's all sorts of chat. Everybody's welcome as long as you don't abuse each other. We don't want any of that. I could do an Arsenal career mode harsh because they are a mid-table club who need to play better. But I would never do a Chelsea, an Arsenal, a Man City or a Liverpool career mode because I genuinely couldn't celebrate scoring the goals. That would be my problem. Leeds career mode when Elland Road gets put into the game, says Ross Gunn. Leeds are too big a rival. We've seen Ollie's ceiling. No point giving him another contract. He can't do any better than what he's doing, says Not My Legend. Well, in the context of where Man United have been over the last 7 years, he's got us third and we're currently second. So that's massive improvement from where we are. It's just, and I agree, we should want to go higher than that. And if he's hit his ceiling, then ultimately he will need replacing. But on the other hand, you know, he's got us somewhere that we've not been for 7 years. And what if he's got another gear? That's the thing. I still think he's a work in progress and he might have something more in him. So Liverpool defensively not struggling at all at the moment. I've got to say, I thought Phillips and Henderson, West Ham would look to exploit them a little bit more with Antonio. They've really not got out of third gear, Liverpool. They've been very, very comfortable. Defensively, they've controlled the ball and West Ham haven't caused them any problems at all. Been a little bit disappointed in West Ham, actually. I think they've shown Liverpool a lot of respect when, you know, Liverpool are missing a lot of players. You wonder if Liverpool had Van Dijk and everyone, what would actually happen in a game like this. Can you see Rooney as a future Man United manager, says Stephen B. Harry? I would hope not. Well, actually, that sounds completely wrong. If he becomes the next sort of Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp type of manager, then obviously I would want him at Manchester United. But I don't really want to go and get, you know, I think, funnily enough, Chelsea, Lampard, he was at Derby and they did quite well. Look how that ended up. I think, you know, if I'm Rooney, I'm like, if I do well at Derby, and then I'll maybe manage Everton, and then maybe I manage Manchester United. I wouldn't be taking risks on people anymore. Antonio Windsor across corner. He's too scared to drop his favourites. He can't make in-game tactical changes. We seem to fall short in every crunch game. Ollie isn't the man, says Sean Negative Turner. Only in my opinion, but you should do a Man United Football Manager 21 and PC career next, and not another FIFA one. We'll watch either way, though, says Dem. Thanks, mate. I am still thinking of doing a Football Manager career mode, by the way. Wickham Wanderers career mode, newly promoted, a massive championship underdogs, and as a fan, it would be great to see, says BuyHop UK. Thanks for the super chats. You can do through the $sign if you want. West Ham got a corner here, probably where they're going to be most of a threat, and they messed it up. Looking for good camo pants but can't find any, says Compilation Central. Can anybody help him with these camouflage pants? Where do I think Spurs will... Keep the questions coming and I'll try and move through them. Brandon says, where do you think Spurs are going to finish? You know what? Spurs are a team I haven't had a look at for a while. I know we watched them on Thursday night. I was disappointed with them. But they're currently... So Spurs are currently in 6th place with 19 points. With 33 points. They're 6th with 33 points. They've played 19 games. if they were to win tonight, they'd go up to 36 points and they'd have a game in hand on Liverpool and West Ham and Manchester United and Leicester. So if they win tonight and they won their game in hand, they'd go up to 39 points, which would put them 2 points off the second place. But the problem with Spurs is you're assuming that Spurs can win 2 games in a row. They're just ridiculous, the amount. I know that Spurs have dropped a lot of points this season. So Brighton for Spurs tonight, they've got to win. I don't know what the situation is with Harry Kane. I'll have a look in a minute. They've got Chelsea on Thursday, then they've got West Brom, then they've got Man City, and then they've got West Ham, and then they've got Burnley. And the trouble is with Spurs, I would probably say, if Spurs were playing 5 games, I'd expect them to take 7 points. 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses. And that's the trouble with Spurs, is that they just can't get that consistency going, can they? Like a lot of teams. Thanks for the contribution, Shoab. And let me just have a quick look at Spurs, actually. I'm interested. You've got my attention, Spurs. What's the story with Harry Kane? Fortnight after injuring both ankles in Thursday's defeat by Liverpool. So it's nothing long term, but yeah, he's out for a while. And that's a problem, isn't it? It's a bit like Vardy and Leicester. I think Harry Kane and Spurs, they do struggle when they're not together. You should do a Cardiff career mode, says Josh Moy. I've got to be honest, I've never really wanted to do any Welsh clubs as a career mode. There's just some clubs I wouldn't do. North East clubs, Sunderland, Middlesbrough, Newcastle. I'd never want to do any of them. Nice little ball wide there, but Crespo's a good left back, you know. He's a good player. But West Ham have been disappointing so far. Well organised, but when I say disappointing, they're not posing enough questions to Liverpool. When Man United played West Ham just before Christmas, I thought West Ham played really, really well first half. But they've not got going. Is that a credit to Liverpool? I think you've got to say it is. And foul given against West Ham there. What do you think about Matty Cash, says SBrew34. It's funny because I know a couple of people on like WhatsApp and stuff who are from where I'm born, which is Nottingham. So I've got a few friends and stuff like that. And I got a few messages last night about James Garner going on loan there because obviously he's gone to Forest. So they were like, "What's he like?" And I said, "Well, he was at Watford. I'm surprised the loan deal ended because he seemed to be doing okay. But if he's going to play first team football for you, I'm really happy." A year ago, Garner was our second best young player behind Greenwood, so he's a good player. But they're always messaging me about Matty Cash because obviously he's gone to Villa from Forest, and I think he's been fantastic this year. What a signing he's been. I think Villa's signings in general have been... what clubs had a better... not one signing. I think one signing for me, the signing of the summer would probably be Diaz at Man City, but a good chance for West Ham to put a cross in here. But... who's made the most? Which teams made the most good signings? I mean, many people would have thought it was going to be Chelsea or Spurs, but I think Villa. When you look at Matty Cash, Ollie Watkins, a couple of others, yeah, they've done really well. How about a Watford career mode? Says Dan Morhan. And thanks for making me smile, Mark. I've been through a lot lately, but when I watch your videos, you always make me laugh. Thanks, keep it up, mate. Says Lois Farrell. Thanks for that, Lois. And Serie A career mode maybe return Milan to glory. Callum. I'd love to do a Serie A career mode, but I don't think a lot of people would watch it. So cross is going to come in from West Ham here. Up it goes. It's a lovely cross. Oh, brilliant header. I don't know who did it. I think it was Phillips. Well done, lad. That was a bloody brilliant header because it was a great cross. They were queuing up on the back post as well. Lovely play. If you can have one superpower for a day, what would it be and why? Says Red Cosmos Devil. Invisibility would be good. I'm not going to tell you what I'd do with it, but I think invisibility would be good, wouldn't it? Yeah. I'm not watching it tonight, WWE tonight, Oliver Smith. I'm just... there's numerous reasons why not. I'm a bit disappointed, but I just can't watch it tonight. That's all I can say. But Super Bowl, I'm doing that next week, definitely. Looking forward to that. So yeah, we'll be doing that. So we've got about 5 minutes to go to half time. It's been a very quick half, actually, hasn't it? La Liga career mode. I feel like you always underrate La Liga, but give it a try. You might enjoy it. Not many teams that do long ball tactics, says Red Baron. And Thoughts on... I'm excited for the United Stand show tonight, says Asvath. Yep, we've got them all on. We've got Ricky and Kev on tonight, but I think Ricky's going to get a few questions about his about Marshall and Bruno. I think it's going to be interesting. Harris says, you look like the guy who bullied me because I had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles lunchbox. I can confirm it wasn't me because I did like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so I'd be getting bullied with you. Okay, so we've got 5 minutes to go here. I mean, look, I've been a bit disappointed with West Ham. I've got to say I've been a bit disappointed with West Ham, but I haven't watched a lot of West Ham this year. So... You know, somebody might say this is how West Ham play, well organised, and then nick a couple of goals. It's a Moyes team at the end of the day. But I remember us playing West Ham, like I said, just before Christmas, and they moved the ball a lot better, but they've not really been able to get going. But, you know, just because Liverpool have got a few players out doesn't mean they're vulnerable, because I've always said this about Liverpool and Klopp. It's a system, and they're all used to playing the system. So, you know, regardless of whether they've got 2 or 3 good players out, it's still a system, isn't it? They're still a system team. But at the moment, the draw looks like a good prediction, doesn't it? Shamoni. Everybody get up, sing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll make you get down now. Get on, get on, get on, get on down. Shamoni. West Ham having a little bit more of the ball here. Declan Rice gets it wide. Cross comes in, back post. Antonio. Oh, couldn't get any height on it. It's one of those headers where it's high and you're jumping and you just can't get any power on it. Unlucky. Could have been a contender. They've got it back on the left though. The game's starting to cook up a little bit here. Benrahma. Declan Rice. I mean, you know what? I've got to say, you're right about Declan Rice. He does play in a midfield too, doesn't he? But Sush, he doesn't really play in a midfield too because they let one and go and one not go. Good win for Chelsea, Vivek. Well, fair play, they did well. I think, look, you didn't get the camouflage joke, says Compilation Central. I'm probably a bit tired, to be honest, mate. Why aren't you watching WE but you're watching the Super Bowl, says Oliver Smith. There's reasons, Oliver. I was going to do Royal Rumble tonight, but I just can't do it. So, hi, Mark. Good morning from New York. Did you see Messi's salary in the last 5 years? It's ridiculous, right? Says Cheyenne. I need figures. I'm happy to talk about Messi, actually. But I think Messi will end up at Man City. I've always felt that he's going to end up at Man City in the summer, but apparently he might be staying at Barcelona. 138 million a year, says Yusuf. Well, it's only 10 million less than I earn. So, you know, and he is the world's best player. I'm joking. 122 million pounds a season, says Marky. He's the best player in the world, though, isn't he? Are they top of La Liga, Barcelona? I take no interest in La Liga anymore. I really am quite ignorant to it. I don't take any notice of it. Atletico are top of the league by a long way. Bloody hell. Oh, Origi! Wasn't a major chance. Sort of a front post slider in behind the West Ham defender, just in front of the keeper. It would have took a fantastic thing. But I tell you what, people will be waxing lyrical about Thiago's cross. It's delightful, actually, from Thiago. But I tell you what, he is a bit like the lad at school who's got a bit of a one-trick pony, Thiago. It's a bloody good trick to have, but he doesn't does he not overdo the no-look pass. Like, he does it all the bloody time. You know, if you just did it once every couple of games, or even once a game, it'd be fine. But he does it about 5 times a minute. Every bloody pass is a no-look pass. Oh, look. Oh, look. Oh, look. Like, as a player, I would be expecting it all the time. Anyway, Salah down the left-hand side. I'll talk to you about La Liga in a minute, but Salah's got it on the left-hand side. Into Shaqiri, back to Salah. Declan Rice has been turned by him. Gets the shot off straight at the keeper. So, yeah, I mean, Real Madrid have got 40 points and they've played 20 games. Barcelona have got 37 points and they've played 19 games. Atletico Madrid have got 50 points and they've played 19 games. I think Atletico Madrid are going to win La Liga, which is good for La Liga. It is actually good for La Liga because, you know, it's been a bit hit and miss. I don't know what's gone on with Real Sociedad because the last time I checked La Liga, they were near the top. So they're now 18 points off top. So they must have lost a shitload of games, Real Sociedad, which is good because United are playing them soon. But Atletico Madrid top of the league in La Liga, if anyone cares, which I don't. But I just thought I would inform you because that's football. Right. Hi, Mark. Coming from a Saints fan, Højbjerg, best CDM in the league. Only getting the recognition now as he's playing for Spurs. He's done very, very well, Matthew Emerson, actually. Good run in the box here. Should be a corner to West Ham. Yep. Keegan, thank you for the super chat there. Will United... Oh, it's half time. Will United win on Tuesday? And what do you think about the Leeds result from Joshua? Good. Well done to Leeds, beating Leicester. And I booked a holiday to watch you tonight, says Oliver Smith. Booked holiday to watch you tonight. Oliver, I'm sorry about that, Oliver. Oliver. I did say I would announce it on Sunday. So, you know, but you can still watch it. I'm sure there'll be somebody doing it. What a terrible game, says Jed. I don't think it's been a terrible game. I've quite enjoyed the chat we've been having. I'd be quite happy with it ending in a draw. I think it gives us more opportunity to play either or at half time. But in summary, I think Liverpool are going to struggle if they play this team against Man City next week. They will struggle because Man City will just dominate them. I think Liverpool have done okay, but without Mane in the team, they're just Origi's not very good. I know he's scored some important goals for Liverpool over the last couple of years, but ultimately he's not very good. I would never want a Liverpool player at my club because I'm a Man United fan. But if Salah had to come, or Mane had to come, or Fabinho had to come, or Van Dijk had to come, or Alisson, or Trent, or Robertson, they'd go straight into the United side. Origi, I wouldn't even want him on the bench. So, you know, he ain't good. Antonio's better than Origi. So, Shaqiri, look, he was good at Stoke, but is he good for Liverpool? I think Liverpool, is Milner still as effective as he used to be? So I think that Liverpool's problem here today is that the quality of player that they've got in the final third. Shaqiri, Origi, they're not good enough. And obviously, I don't know when's Jota back, because they could do with getting Jota back. But they need Mane back, and I don't know how long he's out for. So they miss quality in the final third, Liverpool. They've had a lot of the ball, but they do miss quality in the final third. As for West Ham, look, I think West Ham are probably a little bit like Arsenal. They when Arsenal played United yesterday. We'd like to win it, and if we get a chance to win it, we'll do our best. But we're not going to go gung-ho to win it, because ultimately, if we don't get beat, it's a good result for us. And I'm not being disrespectful to Arsenal, because Arsenal did have chances to beat United last night, even though United had the better chances. But I think the main thing for Arsenal last night was that they were well organised. They gave themselves a chance to win if they could win it, but ultimately it was about not losing the game as well. And I think the way West Ham have approached this game is very similar, because you can't play for a draw. And I'm not being disrespectful to Arsenal or West Ham, but ultimately, West Ham, if they come out of this game and they've not been beaten, they'll be very, very happy. Liverpool have put themselves in a position where they will be unhappy if they don't win. A draw's not really good enough for them. So I think that for Liverpool, it's they've got to do more in the second half. But West Ham have been quite well organised. They've not really been troubled. And West Ham will probably keep it the same in the second half. There's a delightful cross came in for a free kick, and Phillips gets his head out on it to clear it for Liverpool. That would have been probably a goal. So West Ham will be very happy with how it's going, and Liverpool and Klopp will know that they've got to try and create more. Please subscribe, by the way, just very quickly before we start playing either or taking your questions. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. We're trying to get up to 310,000 tonight. We're on 309,600. So bottom right-hand corner, subscribe. You're very welcome. We've got we're doing Spurs versus Chelsea as a watch along on Thursday night. Obviously Liverpool against Man City next Sunday night, and we're doing Villa Arsenal on Saturday lunchtime. So they're your next 3 watch alongs on this channel. Ollie to copy Goldbridge and sign Koundé for titles, says Salah Ahmed. It'd be funny if he did. Koundé or Upamecano says don't ban me. Well, I'm not going to ban you for a question like that. I'd be happy with either of those. And I whether I'm Bayern Munich, whether I'm Chelsea, whether I'm Liverpool, whether I'm Manchester United, I'm not even answering this as a Man United fan. If you're asking me whether I want Koundé or Upamecano, I'd be happy with either of them. I think they're both very, very good. I do need to take a stretch, Bradley. I've not had a stretch in bloody ages. Stretch it out. Oh yeah, stretch it out. Don't get excited. It's all part of the stretching plan. You have to thrust your pelvis back for lower back pain because it's all about moving your lower back spine so it doesn't seize up in one position. Try and do that when you're in mother care. You'll get kicked out. I didn't do it in mother care. I don't know whether mother care still exists now. Would you throw Ahmad in the mix next match and Maguire can't play next match, says Ermi. Why can't Maguire play the next match? I've not heard about Maguire not playing the next match. In-betweeners or Friends, says Sandkelp. I mean, I loved In-betweeners, but Friends is very good as well. But I probably would say In-betweeners. And with decent centre-back and creative right-winger, we'll have no excuse, says CMTHW. I think in relation to Manchester United and Arsenal and probably Spurs and certainly Chelsea, all 4 of those clubs have invested but have either sacked a manager or are in a position where they need a bit of time. Mourinho, Ollie where he needs a little bit more, Arteta where he needs a lot more. You've got to see where we are in 6 months with all of those clubs. Some of them a year, but I would say on all 4 of those clubs. I mean, it's not going to work out for all of them because if it can't work out for all of them. I mean, one of the things that's very true in the Premier League is that at the start of the season, every club wants to win a trophy. Every club wants to have a good season. But, Manchester United, Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, Spurs, Arsenal. That's 6 big clubs in England, right? The traditional top 6. They can't all succeed. There's only 3 trophies. There's the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup and the Premier League. You're not guaranteed that one of them 6 is going to win the Champions League. So over half of those clubs are going to be disappointed. But I do think that a lot of those, from a Man United fan point of view, until Solskjaer gets a centre-back and a right-winger, it's very difficult to say kick him out because we're so desperate for both positions. We've got no creativity off the width. And I'm sure Arsenal would say that about a couple of positions as well. There's that header from Phillips, brilliant. So yeah. Do you think Bielsa could make a great player out of Dan James, says Wadu? Well, I don't think he's going to be a great player at United. Grandad or uncle, only fools, says Brooksy. I think they both played their parts. What worries me is when Bruno isn't on form, we don't usually win. We seem way too dependent on him. We need a big transfer window. Sancho for sure, says Daniel Lugo. And Mark, I think Ollie has hit his ceiling. If we are effectively the same team at the end of the season, it's time to move on. He's way too cautious, says Brad Lewis. I can answer both those super chats very, very easily. This obsession with Bruno is actually not based on any evidence. The reason he doesn't play well against the bigger teams is because we set up very static against the bigger teams. I thought we tried to play higher up the pitch against Arsenal yesterday, but our attack was very static against a low block. So, we don't move the ball quick enough from back to front, basically. And by the time Pogba and Bruno get it, the opposition is in place. And once the opposition is in place, unless you've got quick, intricate players, and which we don't have, Bruno is, Pogba can be, but Martial and Rashford aren't. You need intelligent players. You need people like Van der Beek and Mata and, De Bruyne's and people like that. But United are so slow at getting the ball from back to front. Bruno had a lot of the ball yesterday. Pogba had a lot of ball yesterday. But there was nothing going on ahead of them because Arsenal were well organised. And, Rashford and Martial just don't complement that style of a football. Mark, Declan Rice or fried rice, says Aryan Singh. And Ricky Gervais or Stephen Merchant, says Abjit. Well, you've got to say Ricky Gervais, haven't you? Stephen Richardson, thanks for the super chat. Mark, would you rather support Man City or Liverpool and you have to choose one? Says Ellis Hammond. I'd rather support Liverpool, to be honest with you. Not now. If I was born and I didn't know, I'd rather support Liverpool because they've got a better history. I mean, Liverpool and Manchester United have got very similar similarities. This is why we don't like each other. This is why the rivalry is there. But if I had to support one now, well, that's never going to happen because I'm a Man United fan. But if I was born, I had to be born one of those fans, I'd rather be a Liverpool fan because, as much as I don't like them as a United fan, I can respect the fact that they're a big club with a big history and they're a real football club. So I'd say Liverpool. But I'd never want to support them now. I'd never want to support either of them. Ollie in One Direction equals song. What makes Harry beautiful, says Dalaba. And Van Nistelrooy or Van Persie. I get asked that all the time, Kevin Green. For United, it's got to be Van Nistelrooy as much as I love Van Persie. Hi Mark, we went into full lockdown here today in Perth. Love the content. Gone for 5 days, haven't you, Mini Red Devil 7? But then again, aren't they letting 30,000 people in every day to watch the tennis and the cricket? This is why Manchester is blue, says Karanga. And Mark, what are your thoughts on Palestri's move to Alaves? Is it good for him to get play time or should we kept him? Amar, no, it's 100%. He was never going to get any game time, was he? So, it's a bit like Mengi going to Derby. I'd like him to get a bit of game time at United, but I'd rather if he can get 10 games in for Derby in the Championship, that's going to be better for his development, definitely. Is saying Vardy better than Drogba delusional, says Matthew Joyce. Yes, it is. I mean, Drogba was a fantastic striker. Absolutely fantastic. I couldn't stand him, but that's because he was always a handful. But fantastic striker. Got any vlogs coming from your Mark Goldbridge channel? I literally only put one out 2 days ago, Charlie Dawson. I only normally do one a week on that channel. Hi Mark, will you be Ollie out if Man United doesn't finish top 4? Says Ali. Well, I'm not going to say that. You can't commit to that. You don't know what the circumstances of that would be. We could have a massive injury crisis, in which case I'd be having a moan about the board not backing the manager again. We could miss out on the last day because of a VAR decision. But I think if he doesn't get top 4, he probably doesn't get a new contract. I would say that. I probably will, Korshik, do a Football Manager 21 save at some point, yes. Score prediction for this game, I said would be a draw. I said 2-2. Probably pushing it to get 2-2, having seen the first 45 minutes. But a draw would be a good result for a lot of teams. It'd be a good result for Man City, good result for United, good result for Leicester. Because both these teams are up near the top at the moment. So, yeah, it'd be a good result for both of them, to be fair. Martial and Rashford are mid-table players. We just hype them too much. They're not. Martial and Rashford over the last 3 or 4 years have been... So many times people have said they're the two best attacking young players in the league. They're just struggling, I think, at the moment with their identity because they're not young players anymore. And they're moving into their mid-20s, not far off from... Martial's there already, not far off for Rashford. It's now about what you're going to be. And I think the Theo Walcott analogy is always a good one. Theo Walcott burst on the scene at 17, went to a World Cup, moved from Southampton to Arsenal, and everyone was like, Theo Walcott's going to be the next Wayne Rooney because, actually, he was younger than that. I've got that completely wrong. Walcott went to the 2002 World Cup at 17. Rooney's younger than Walcott, isn't he? I'm just because Walcott's still playing and Rooney's not. I think they must be around the same age. But what I'm saying is, Walcott was considered to be the next big thing. I think Walcott was, to be fair, I think Walcott was the next Michael Owen actually, because Michael Owen had come through at 98 World Cup. And we took Theo Walcott to the 2002 World Cup and he went to Arsenal. So everybody was like, oh, Walcott's going to be this next. Are you a watch collector? Also top 4 or trophy, says Kareem. I'm not a watch collector. I do like them though. Top 4 for me. I want top 4. So Walcott came through and he was going to be the next Michael Owen or whatever. Went to Arsenal and, had talent, did okay, but never progressed really. Look at him now. He's still the same player he was when he was 17. And if you're playing like that at 17, you've got potential. But if you never deliver the potential, or if you never go beyond the potential, because Walcott's not atrocious. I think at times he looks atrocious for Southampton. But, Walcott needed to develop his footballing IQ, really, in relation to final ball, knowing when to shoot, knowing when to pass. He never did. He just stayed the same as he was when he was 17 and probably dropped off a bit. Rashford, we know he's got to work on his final ball. Martial, we know they've got to work on their consistency. But maybe they never do work on that. Maybe they do a Walcott. Maybe they just stay what they were when they were 17. Maybe they don't learn the extra bits because, you know, you look at Messi, you look at Ronaldo when they were teenagers, they got better and better and better. And there's plenty of players like that. Gerrard got better and better and better. Scholes got better and better and better. Lampard got better and better and better. But, you know, maybe a Rashford or a Martial, they don't get better and better and better. They just stay the same player that on their day is amazing, but sometimes their final ball is poor. Or on their day they're amazing, and sometimes they look rubbish. That's the thing that defines whether a player becomes a world-class player or a good player. I think Martial and Rashford are good players. Top-class players, maybe, but are they going to go to the next level? Because not everybody does. Otherwise, everyone would be world-class. Not everybody's graph is up, down till retirement and then down. Some graphs go up and then flatline for 10 years. And I think with Rashford and Martial, we'll have to wait and see what happens with him. Mark, Werder fan here. Do you think Chong is going to make it on the highest level? He obviously struggled a lot to get into our first 11, says Finn Anonymous. Well, you could tell us something about Tahith Chong. I was talking about it this morning, actually. Every time I used to check your results, sometimes he started, sometimes he came off the bench. But, you know, he was involved in your matchday squad. And I thought, well, you know, second half of the season, maybe you progress and get in the first team more regularly. To go to Club Brugge in the Belgian league compared to the Bundesliga, that's a step down for me. So I assume, I worry about Chong. I was really excited about the Werder Bremen loan. I worry about Chong now because even if he does well in the Belgian league, it's the Belgian league. What do you do if you were stuck in an elevator with a pregnant woman and she went into labour, says Red Cosmos Devil? I'd just say calm down and breathe. And I'll take it from there. Next step, I'll figure it out from there. The bubbles are on the pitch, and so are West Ham and Liverpool. They've got the little bubble machine blowing the bubbles, because that's the West Ham song. We'll have no jokes about Michael Jackson and his pet at all. But Mbappe or Haaland, says Fish Fish. We're about to kick off for the second half. I'd rather do an Arsenal career mode than a Man City career mode, because Man City have just, it's like doing anything on cheat mode, isn't it? Man City should win the title every year. They basically play for the last 10 years they've done the Premier League on a cheat code. I don't care what anybody says, they have. I'm not saying that I wouldn't want that at United. I think any club would want it at their club, but second half's kicked off, but you know, Man City should be at the top of the table every year because they have the best and richest owners who just want to win. You know, Liverpool's owners want to run a viable business. Arsenal owners want to run a viable business. Man United owners want to make money out of the club. Calm down and breathe, Bridge, says Dylan Taylor. Hope you're having a good day and love the Goldbridge at home video. Will there be more? Says Pro Rocket. I'm thinking of doing another one this week. I don't want to overdo them though, but I am thinking of doing another one this week. Good win for Chelsea today, Matteo, yes. Oh, that was a good stretch. Can't wait for a nice hot bath tonight. Might put some bubbles in it. And I might get my little duck out and my boats and my shark. Wijnaldum. Bamford's had a great season. Somebody just saying Bamford's better than Martial. Well, I don't think he's a better footballer, but he's having a better season, and I think he's doing well. Got another assist today. I presume he scored. I don't know what I don't know who scored the second and third goal for Leeds. I only saw 3-1. I stopped watching it 1-1. Dennis says, "Hey Mark, if the title hopes are over for United, they might as well give Van der Beek and Diallo more opportunities." Well, the trouble is, it's not like the season's over, is it? The battle for top four will be difficult. Should Diallo get game time in the next game? Says Balabay. I'd love to see it. I really would. And get your duck out, says Palmarius. Thanks for the super chats. You can do that through the $sign if you so wish. Declan Rice has got a yellow card here for a foul on Henderson. A little bit late. Bamford got 1 goal and 2 assists. There you go. Frank Cavell. Fantastic from him then. Baron says he benched him on Football Premier League. I didn't bench him on Football Premier League, but I haven't changed my Fantasy Premier League team in about 2 months. So, but I know Bamford's in it, but yeah, I haven't played it properly for ages. I've sort of given up now. You miss what? I didn't give it in through petulance. I gave it in because I kept getting caught. Traditionally, when I used to play Fantasy Premier League, I'd always wake up in the morning on a Saturday, have my breakfast, have a cup of coffee, and spend half an hour doing my team before 11:30. Well, we've had Friday night kickoffs. We've had 6 o'clock on a Friday night. I just wrecked it for me this year. I've got a funny feeling West Ham are going to score first in this game. Oh, that's late. Really late. He might be getting a red here. Soucek. Unless the Liverpool players made a meal of it. If it was Thiago, he might have made a meal of it. Origi into the box. Crosses it back. What a block. Salah should have scored. Brilliant block by Ogbonna. And it's gone out for a throw-in. I think Soucek's going to get a yellow. So both their midfielders on a yellow card, both booked in the last couple of minutes. Soucek on, I think it was Thiago. Look at the rolls from Thiago. I don't know whether it was a bad foul or not. But this is great play. Origi gets past his man, puts the cross in. Looks like it's a goal. And Cresswell, it wasn't Ogbonna who got the block in actually, it was Cresswell on Salah. Jesse's not even on the bench, Aidan Willett, unfortunately. It was a bit of a shame. But West Ham need to be a bit careful now because both their midfielders are on yellow cards. Both justifiable yellow cards, to be fair. But Liverpool, lovely play. Origi into the box. Side netting again. You can't beat a good bath bomb, Charlonk. I do like a good bath bomb. I mean, I'm into all that. I'm into all that stuff, like you know, bit of like smelly bubble bath, like you know the ones like tobacco and stuff like that. If you know, you know. Sea salt and pepper and all that. Wijnaldum will be going on a free, won't he, Blaze, this summer? Yes. I used to like Granger and Biker Grove gin. There's a lot of players going down injured here. Not much in that, really. Would you rather have Prime Ferguson or Prime Pep? That's like saying, would you rather have I can't think of, but Ferguson's way better. Yeah, it's like having prime sirloin steak, Sir Alex Ferguson, or a prime Big Mac. One is, you know, quality, and the other one's manufactured. And Pep's the Big Mac. You know, very, very nice and does its job, but it's manufactured by external forces, i.e. cash. Go on then, Bowen. Nice little slip through. Antonio, he's going to get there. No, Alisson will get there. And he's, look at Antonio. Look at Alisson as well. Not only does he get there, he doesn't boot it out. He just takes a nice little touch. Management's not all about tactics, though, is it? Somebody says, Pep's got better tactics. It's not all about tactics. There's some brilliant tactical coaches out there. Who, you know, what's his name? What was the Arsenal one they sacked just now? The one who looked like Dracula on Halloween. Not Allegri. Why can't I think of his bloody name? I've had a brain fart there. I can picture him. Emery. Yeah, very good tactical coach, but you know, tactics ain't everything. You've got to have them. That's gone for a goal kick. Do you think Ings will start in the England Euros squad with Kane out and Vardy retired? Says Leo. Well, yeah, Kane's only out for 2 weeks though, isn't he? So England aren't playing for 2 months. I do wonder about Liverpool, you know. Just thinking about think about Liverpool. They've got Brighton on Wednesday, and then they've got Liverpool. They've got Manchester City on Sunday. The games keep coming, and they're very relentless. Then they've got Leicester after that, and then they've got Everton. So Liverpool's games just don't get any easier, and they've got Leipzig in the Champions League. Liverpool's season could just burn out, couldn't it? In February, it could just burn out. Leipzig could beat them, and they could lose a couple of games in February, including Man City, and the title's gone. So Liverpool's season could just burn out completely if they're not careful. I personally think Liverpool might get into a situation where they just focus on the Champions League again. What a ball by Henderson into Salah again. That's happened twice, once in the first half and now in the second half. Long ball from Henderson getting Salah in, but he's not scored. How many toes do you have, says Mark? Just the standard 11. And Jesse's loan wasn't completed in time for him to be on the bench, says Infinite. Well, there you go. I'm really surprised Liverpool haven't bought a centre-back. Just very, very quickly, the transfer window closes tomorrow. I think this transfer window has been a total waste of time, and I think it's because of COVID. I've never known anything like it. Like, the lack of activity in the transfer market has been abysmal. I'm not saying that Man United, as a United fan, I would have wanted us to do more, but it's abysmal. It's absolutely abysmal across the board. Like, ridiculous how little business has been done. And I don't think there'll be much going tomorrow. I can't believe people are taking the 11 thing seriously. I don't know whether sarcasm exists in some countries that watch this show, but it amazes me the amount of people who never get it. Apparently, Liverpool want Mustafi as a quick transfer window buy, says Lee. Well, I'm available. I would never play for Liverpool, but look, if you want Mustafi, then great tackle that. Origi's gone down like he's been injured. And West Ham come away. They've got a 3v2. Switch it. Bowen, switch it. Switch it. Oh no. Antonio. Oh, I thought he'd scored. How did he not score there? Comes to Antonio in the box. Wraps his foot around it. Alisson doesn't move. And you think that's definitely going to be in the bottom corner. And somehow it's gone wide. We'll have to watch this back here. Bowen makes a bit of a mess of the cross, but the slippy pitch and the ball falls behind Milner. Oh, it's not far off. Not far off by Antonio. Just wide. Happy birthday to Thomas Lacey from Josh Mongan. There you go. Origi had gone down in the tackle, but I think it was a good tackle. Who do you think is going to win the 2022 World Cup? Says Arj. Milner's going off. Hold me, Mark, says Connor. Curtis Jones is coming on. Pep won the Champions League twice and created the greatest club team in history with 7 players starting. Only at City here has relied on cash. Mark, that has got to be, thanks for the super chat, but that's got to be one of the most biased and baseless comments I've ever read. So we are going to give Pep great status for building a Barcelona side that had Messi in it, Xavi, Iniesta, Piqué. He inherited all these players, didn't buy them. He inherited a Barcelona side. What a goal by Salah! Talk about quality. That is quality by Salah, I'm afraid. Absolutely superb. Absolutely superb. That is a great goal. It is. Quality. Absolute quality by Mo Salah. Look, I'm always critical of fullbacks that show a player who's so good on their left foot onto their left foot, but let's just watch this back from Salah. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Jones gets it to Salah. He's on his left. Well, Cresswell's pissed off with himself because he's given him that shot. Lovely goal. And Liverpool will be over the moon because this game is one of those games that it's just been very tight. There's not been a lot of goal action. You get the first goal and it works out. And it's a bit Liverpool. If Liverpool get the win here today with all the injury problems they've got, a win against Spurs on Thursday night. If they get a win here today as well, 6 points from 2 potentially difficult games. Beat Brighton on Wednesday, 9 points, and go into Man City on Sunday. They'll be absolutely pumped about that. So let's see. Let's see. But you know what this is for Liverpool today? And I've seen it time and time. You talk about Sir Alex Ferguson. I've seen it time and time again. It's getting points, wins, when people think you might be a bit vulnerable. Where you might not play at your best, where you might be missing a couple of really good players, but you still go and win. Might not be pretty, but a moment of world-class ability, everybody on the same page working hard, and you take your chances and you win the game. Alisson, the ball in behind is still a problem for Liverpool, but Alisson has played very well as the sweeper keeper so far. So West Ham, have they got a response? At 0-0, they'd have always fancied themselves to maybe nick a goal, but at 1-0 down, they've got to get a goal. You can't write little Liverpool off, says Bella. Well, I'll tell you what Liverpool would love to do is come out of this game with a clean sheet as well. Which if they do, it'll be a great 3 points. Shame Lingard isn't on the bench, actually. West Ham just need to get their discipline here. You know, there's still half an hour to go in this game. They've got a couple of players on yellow cards. The worst thing they could do is just go and start biting into tackles and get somebody sent off. Still plenty of time. Chassis says that Alisson's annoying. I wouldn't say he's annoying. He's just doing a fantastic job. Really good. Please subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We are wanting to get to 310,000 tonight. We are currently at 250 away. So press that button, bottom right-hand corner, if you haven't subscribed. And let's see if we can do that. Everyone's welcome on this channel, of course. That's football. It's not club specific, so everybody's welcome to get involved and join in the chats. Bottom right hand corner to subscribe. Declan Rice gets it right, wide right. Bowen, is he on or off? Well, it doesn't really matter because Henderson's recovered fantastically well, and it would have been offside anyway. Prime Salah or Prime Hazard? Oh, I'd always say Salah, to be honest, but Mark, City to come first, Liverpool second, Leicester third and Arsenal fourth, says Zane. You are absolutely talking out your arse today, Zane. You really are. Thanks for subscribing, Hardeep. Mary Am says, let's go Liverpool. Pace from Henderson was very impressive there freely against Bowen. I've never really thought as Henderson as a quick player, but it's not, you know what, it's not easy as well. Just to focus on that for a minute. It doesn't matter whether you're the best CDM in the world. Going and playing at centre-back doesn't make you the best centre-back in the world. Positions are really difficult in football. Like, if you're a cam, doesn't mean you can play a CDM. If you're a right-back, doesn't mean you can play right-winger. If you're a centre-back, doesn't mean you can play CDM. And, you know, it's difficult to do. And Henderson's done it very, very well today for Liverpool. Deserves a bit of credit, to be fair. And Liverpool are starting to go through the gears now. Jones into the box, pass one, and it will go for a goal kick. Liverpool looking to get the second game and get the second goal and get the game done. Substitution for West Ham. Fornells goes off. Yarmolenko comes on. Hammers need some more set pieces, says Christopher Brown. And Edwin says, Arsenal fourth. I want to know what Zane's smoking so he can try it himself. Cam says, why don't you like Hazard? I do like Hazard, but I think Salah has... How many years has Salah been at Liverpool now? And pretty much, especially the first couple of years, has been arguably one of the best players in the world. Hazard was very good at Chelsea, but I would just say that Salah's tipped past him in relation to his impact. I think it's very sad what's happened to Hazard, actually. I don't really understand what happened to Hazard. The last sort of year at Chelsea wasn't as good, and then at Real Madrid, I know he's had injuries, but it's just not. I don't get it with Hazard. I don't really get it at all. Answers in the chat. What's the issue with Hazard? He's not particularly old, is he? You know, he should be one of the best players in the world, and he's not. He's 30 now, but he's only just turned 30, and the last 18 months, prime years. Not there. Cross comes in. West Ham. It's going to go with a high foot there. Henderson on Soucek. Real Madrid ruined his career, but he wanted to go. He wanted to go to Real Madrid, didn't he? You know, Chelsea, they loved him there, and he was a popular player, but he wanted to go. You can't complain about that. He wanted to go. 8 o'clock tonight on the United Stand. Yeah, we've got Ricky and Beth and Kev. I think it's going to be a good show tonight, you know, because I want to get into a few debates with Ricky, actually, about Martial. You know, I love Martial myself, but I think he's been really poor recently. And obviously, Ricky said that Martial was the best player on the pitch on Wednesday night against Sheffield United. I gave him 1 out of 10, so that'll be an interesting chat. Also, I think he goes and he obsesses about Bruno too much for me as well. So we'll be talking about that and Donny a bit as well, and all the other stuff. Would you sack Southgate to bring in Lampard? Says Ben Houghton. I think it's a matter of time for Southgate. He's not the right man, but he's a safe pair of hands, and the FA love a safe pair of hands. Would you swap Pogba for Hazard? We will take him if you don't, as he likes London, says Amy Yassi. No, I wouldn't swap Pogba for Hazard, no. I'd have swapped Pogba for prime Hazard 3 years ago, but not now. Mark, this weekend by the traditional Big Six have been boring. 0-0 between us and Arsenal. Chelsea and City scrapping wins. Liverpool here, and you know Spurs, says Andrew C. Are you afraid to reply to my first super chat? Says Wrath. I didn't see it, Wrath. Otherwise, I would have replied to it. As long as it's not abusive, I'm happy to read it. But I didn't see it, mate. So it's not there now. Apologies for that. Please call Ricky out on this bullshit tonight. It's mad, says Avesh. Well, look, I like Ricky and I respect people's opinions, and I'm not about getting into beefs or anything like that. It's stupid, but I will ask him about his opinion, and I'll give him my opinion. That's for sure. Thanks for the sticker, Mashu. Cross comes in. West Ham. Origi clears it. I think we're in for a good 25 minutes now. West Ham will have a go. Liverpool look to hit on the break. Nice little ball into Yarmolenko. Put the cross in, lad. Cross comes in. Be another corner. Jimmy says, I'm having nightmares. Can I sleep in your bed tonight? No, nothing about Jimmy. I just had a flashback to something that happened to me when I was younger, and it just makes me cringe. How good was Messi in the 2011 Champions League final versus United, says Kaya? I tend to forget that game, really. Oh, header. Should be another corner. Dawson wants another corner. He's not going to get it. West Ham doing a lot more at the moment, though. Antonio, it's a decent cross. Oh, unlucky. What a lovely cross that was by Antonio. Robertson puts it out for a corner. But there's a West Ham player at the front and there's a West Ham player at the back. And the cross is lovely, but it just unfortunately lands to Robertson, who does really well. Better from West Ham. They're going to have to push. I don't think this game's going to finish 1-0. Another corner for West Ham here. In it comes. Got some good height in this team. Not a great corner. Robertson clears it. And I tell you what, Liverpool could be on the break here. Trent. And they've got a 4v3. What a ball. Salah, world class. Absolutely brilliant. That takedown, what a goal. I hate to say it. I absolutely hate to say it, but that was brilliant from Liverpool. But what a break by Liverpool that is. Absolutely magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. The control by Salah, but this is from a West Ham corner. Watch this back. Take your mind that it's not Liverpool. Trent Alexander-Arnold hits a 40-yard pass. It's brilliant. And then Shaqiri, first time ball. Look at the control by Salah and the touch. He literally takes down a cross from... And the cross is a first time cross by Shaqiri as well. It's a lovely ball by Shaqiri. But in them conditions, to take it down like Salah does, and then in his stride, pat it, it's magnificent. It's a magnificent team goal, and it's a magnificent individual bit of brilliance from Salah again. Klopp's going to be over the moon. Look at Klopp. He can't believe it. It's a brilliant, brilliant goal by Liverpool, and it starts from a corner for West Ham. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Shaqiri, and then Salah. Absolutely brilliant. And the touch by Salah is magnificent. It's a brilliant goal. It really is. He says through gritted teeth. But brilliant pass by Trent. Brilliant cross by Shaqiri. Brilliant takedown by Salah. Just a brilliant goal. West Ham will just be a bit shell-shocked on that one, to be honest with you. Magnificent. And a massive 3 points. And I said this is massive for Liverpool. Really, really is. They'll go a point behind United into third place. I think they go to third place, Liverpool now. And obviously they've got Brighton midweek at Anfield, which they would fancy to win that. And then they've got Man City next Sunday, which becomes a huge game. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you this for free. Get your lips around this one. So Liverpool playing home to Brighton on Wednesday night. If they win that, they then play Man City at home next Sunday. Now then. Get your head around this one. The league table says Man City 44 points. Liverpool will go up to 40 points. You'd expect them both to win midweek, so the gap will be 4 points. If Liverpool were to beat Man City next week, they would be a point behind Man City. Man City would have a game in hand. They would, but they'd be a point behind Man City. So Liverpool at the moment have found a bit of form at a very, very, very crucial time. It's so strange. Salah's been in a goal-scoring slump for a couple of seasons, and the past month he suddenly remembered he's a centre-forward, says SP Freely. Class don't retire, does it? Until it wants to retire. He's, people always say to me, do you like, Salah or Mane? And for a long time I used to say Salah. It's only because Mane's been so good the last couple of years. But Salah's a fantastic player. And yeah, he has been a bit off the last, I think, 18 months. He's not been as consistently good as he was the first 18 months at Liverpool. But he's a fantastic player. And 2 very, very good goals tonight. ESPN FC has been saying Liverpool have been carrying Salah. He's the top scorer in the Prem. Always the bullshit with ESPN. Well, that's a great point from Stephen Penner. He is the top scorer in the Premier League as well. Mark, Cristian Romero, Atalanta, and Maximilian Arnold, Wolfsburg could be good for a combined 30 million, both early 20s, and leave money for Grealish, says Uber Melon. In your opinion, who's got the best youth coming through, and do you think it will be the best? Be the same big six in 10 years, says Ben Houghton. Salah has been the best winger in the league past 3 seasons, 29 contributions last season, 114 goals, 10 games and only 14 penalties, says Arabian. City best striker been out all season, and Liverpool got so many injuries and they're still both better than us. It's embarrassing, says Sean Negative Turner. I've said this a few times though. Man United are the best of the chasing pack. And look, you can be critical of United, of course you can, but where are Arsenal, where are Chelsea, where are Spurs? Man United are the best of the chasing pack this season. But Liverpool and Man City are not at their best this year, and they're still up there. If they go back to where they were before, they're going to go 20 points ahead of the rest of again, because Liverpool and Man City are way better than everyone else. I think about you in the shower, says Joseph Curran. Lovely. And Salah is better than Mane. Mo scores special goals. Mane scores tap-ins. Well, if I was a Liverpool fan, I wouldn't even have the conversation, because they both play for your club and you benefit from both. So I'd love Ronaldo back at Man United, Steez. Absolutely love it. I will be doing a watch along for Liverpool against City next week. Jackie boy, yes. And I think for the good of the league, Liverpool need to win that. As a United fan, I'd like a draw. But I think it'd be a very intriguing game because Liverpool are not going to have the. Will Mane be back next week? Mane's absence. Let me just get it for you. Liverpool are without the Mane for the match against West Ham. It happened in the game against Tottenham a couple of days. It's nothing too serious, but it's serious enough for him not to be involved today. Short-term issue. So probably the way it's worked out for Liverpool, they've probably thought we need to rest Mane today and maybe against Brighton to have him for Man City. The job of the team is to go and win. And as I said before, it's probably a little bit unfair to say that Liverpool have won by playing badly. They haven't played badly at all. They've just won without some of their better players. How long's Fabinho and Matip out for? Does anyone know? The Pharaoh is back. He and Laka will be top scorers this season. Lacazette will not be one of the top scorers this season, will he? How many goals has he got? Please subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We're trying to hit 310,000 actually. We're still 200 away. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Click it now. Let's get 310 before full time. Bottom right-hand corner. Fabinho will be back for the City game, apparently. Yeah, you'd need him. And I'd love to visit Perth, Mohammed. Yeah, I'd love to visit. To be honest, I'd love to visit Preston at the moment because I can't visit anywhere. But no, I do want to get out and about a little bit after all this. I'm sure everyone feels the same. 15 minutes to go. Can West Ham get a goal back and set up a finish? What a tackle that is by Thiago. Ref's paid it on. Thiago into Wijnaldum, into Salah. Terrible shot, going for the hat-trick. Does Zayn actually work for you to give you talking points to Supermelon? They're not talking points, Supermelon, are they? They're just statements of shit. They're not statements of fact. What do you think about 442 cartoons and your bits in them? And if you know Dean from 442s, what club does he support? Did you watch the new Bruno cartoon? I did, yeah. I like the 442s. I've always liked the 442s, and it's always nice to be in it, even if they're putting me with a blow-up doll of Bruno. But look, it's about, I think that sort of thing it's banter. You can't moan about being used in a banter way. It's a bit different when you're being victim of, people wanting you to die and stuff like that. Or, unfortunately, if somebody's a victim of racism or something like that, that's abuse. That's not banter. So I think 442s is just, it's a bit like Spitting Image when I was growing up. It's taking the piss out of you, but it's done in a fun way. And I've always been a big fan of 442s. So it's nice to be, when I'm on it, it's nice. I've never been to Blackpool. No, Zachary, I haven't. I've been near it a few times, but I've never been there. Did you watch UFC? I didn't watch all of it. No. I did, to be honest, I didn't watch it. I saw the McGregor fight. That was about it. And I didn't stay up for it. I recorded it and then woke up and watched it first thing without turning my phone on. I just couldn't be asked to get up at that time. Fair play to all of you who do. I don't mind staying up, but I can't be doing when you got to stay up till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning for something to start, or get up for it. It's even worse. Right, West Ham here. Got 15 minutes. Can they get a goal back? Back post. Salah heads it away. For Liverpool now, it will be a defensive action. Maybe hit on the break if they can do. Preston career mode. Hi Mark, is it possible to enable donations after a video is finished? Says Grilled Phoenix. I don't know. I don't work for YouTube. I have watched the cricket game match. Yeah, I've been to Edgbaston. Edgbaston's not too far away from me. I was lost in a daze there. Couple of subs here coming for West Ham. Mark Noble's coming on. Yeah, Edgbaston. I've been fortunate enough to go to an Ashes match at Edgbaston as well, which was fantastic. Yeah, I do like watching cricket, but I must admit, when you're watching live cricket, it's very hard. It's almost like watching a mime because the ball is so fast. It's really hard to concentrate and see it. So Antonio's come off for Noble, and I don't know what the other substitution is here. Antonio's not had the game I thought, really. He's not been the threat I thought he was going to be. Do you think... I just did the Newcastle windmill after that Salah goal, says Ivan Manuel. Yeah, no one wants to think about that. And do you think that Salah's the best winger in the league, says Angus Court? Off the right-hand side, yeah. He's the best right winger in the league, isn't he? I just did the Newcastle windmill celebration. You know what? That's one of the last things you want on a Sunday evening tea time in your head. Somebody stood there in front of their TV doing the Newcastle windmill celebration. And if you don't know what the Newcastle windmill celebration is, I'm sure someone in the live comments will tell you. Yeah. Son is the best winger, says Aryan. But Son plays off the left, doesn't he? Salah's the best right winger. You can argue about Mane and Son if you want to, but there's no better right winger than Salah. Which club outside the Big Six is most likely to do a Liverpool-like revival and become a top 4 contender for many seasons? I think the traditional 6 will always be the traditional 6. Liverpool could get relegated. United could get relegated. They're too big. Their reputations are too big. They will always... No one's ever going to take Man United or Liverpool out of the traditional top clubs in England. It will never happen. They're too big. They're massive. I think Arsenal are pretty much that as well. Man City have pretty much bought that status, as have Chelsea. Spurs really, as a traditional 6, probably weren't there 15 years ago, Spurs have got themselves there in recent years. Spurs were a big club, but they weren't a traditional, Spurs are a contender. Some would say they're not anyway. They've never won a bloody title. So, there's always Spurs remind me a bit of an Everton. If Everton sorted themselves out, they could take Spurs' place. They could become a traditional top 6 club. Aston Villa could. They've got a very big ground. They've got a very, very big fan base, but they would need major investment. So... at the moment, the traditional 6 is Spurs, Chelsea, Man City, Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal. But there is always an opportunity for a club to get in there because, as I said, Spurs and Chelsea 20 years ago weren't really that. Chelsea weren't a big club when I was growing up. I remember Chelsea getting done over 7-0 by, was it Forest at one time? They used to get hammered quite a lot, Chelsea. They weren't Abramovich made Chelsea relevant, which is why it makes me laugh that some Chelsea fans would say, it's time to get rid of Roman. But he made your club a big club. You weren't a big club when I was growing up. You weren't. And so, yeah. Money can make it. And Man City weren't either. Let's be honest. Man City were not a traditional big club at all. Nowhere near. A lot of my life, Man City were just a team that fought with relegation and spent a few years out of the top league. So Man City and Chelsea have got in there through good ownership. So teams like Everton and Aston Villa, they're big enough clubs that if they had the right ownership and the right players, they could breach the party, yeah. But Liverpool, Man United, Arsenal, I don't think they're ever going to drop out of being the big clubs because they are big clubs through what they've achieved. And their fan bases are huge, but you can always buy your way into the party. Watching Liverpool play well with half their team missing makes me even more angry at United that we don't perform with a fully fit team, says Woon Weasel 222. And Nelson says, if you could choose 3 teams to come back up to the Premier League, who would they be? Also, do you rate Deacon? Nelson, I am not going to answer your question now because you were trying to get me to say something rude. I'll give you one club who I would love to see back in the Premier League, and I've always said this. I'd love to see Sheffield Wednesday back because they were a club that was always in the Premier League when I was, or Division 1 when I was growing up. So I'd love to see them back. Yeah. One day movie watch-alongs on your MG channel, says Mouldy Balls. Not a bad shout. Blackburn Rovers, Roma, they weren't a big club. They were, again, Blackburn Rovers were another club that just appeared from nowhere because they had Jack Walker. You know, they bought their way up from Division 1 and won the Premier League. The Blackburn Rovers have never been a big club. They bought it. It was another project. And look, when I say they bought it, I'm probably coming across as a bit resentful. I'm not being resentful. And what I'm saying is that's the modern day. If you want to make your way into the big time, you buy it. What a goal. Brilliant. That's another great goal by Liverpool. Origi. It's not Origi. It's Wijnaldum. Origi's gone off. Oh. You know what? It's very good. Very impressive today from Liverpool. (3-0). I would not have predicted this. When you looked at the team news today, you would not have predicted that Liverpool were going to keep a clean sheet and hammer the Hammers, but they have. I shouldn't have been surprised, really. I should not have been surprised because at the end of the day, I haven't seen a lot of West Ham this season, and Declan Rice was a part of that. Not good enough from Declan there. What are your thoughts on the WWE selling their network to NBC, says Mr. Mejax? And how is Leicester not part of the Big Six when they actually won the league in 2016 and have been in the top 6 for several years now? Because I said so, Yazza. Look, if you think Leicester are one of the Big Six clubs, well done. It's called your opinion. But you can't change my opinion. The big six in England are Man United, Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal and Spurs. They're the Big Six, in my opinion. Can somebody else get in there? I don't think Leicester will ever be a Big Six club. It's not about justice. It's about perception, isn't it? It's about, Leicester are a top 6 club and have been for a long time, but are they a Big Six club? The traditional Big Six is not Leicester, no. Not in my opinion. But if you think that, that's fine. That's up to you. I was asked, will anybody make it into the traditional Big Six? And I think to be in the Big Six, you're going to need a load of money invested in your club. And you've got to have a big fan base and you've got to have a big football ground. Everton's got a big fan base. Villa's got a big fan base. Newcastle's got a big fan base. I don't think Leicester's got a very big fan base. So I don't think Leicester would ever be considered as a Big Six club. And Leicester have been more successful than Spurs, but they're not considered a Big Six club. I'm sorry, they're not. In my opinion. They're a top 6 club, definitely, but are they a traditional Big Six club? No, not for me. West Ham have scored! The comeback's coming on! Dawson with 4 minutes to go. Here we go. They're on their way back. They're on their way back. They're not. Of course they're not really, but it's a tap in from Dawson from a corner. Bit of respectability on the scoreline. Let's go again, West Ham. They won't be happy about this, Liverpool. Poor defensive header on the front post by Phillips and Robertson, and Dawson's there to steer it in. Don't know what Phillips is doing on the front post there. Clean sheet gone. No clean sheet again for Liverpool, says Max. We've got 5 minutes to go. Klopp's smiling. He won't be smiling if another one goes in. We've seen strange things this season. I'm just saying we have seen strange things and we might see strange things here. 86 minutes. 5 minutes to go. Plus stoppage time. West Ham transition again. Down the right-hand side. Robertson's there. No, it's Henderson actually. Goes back to Alisson. I admire your unbiased. That's football as a Man United fan. Great content and great punditry, says Gaz. Thanks for the super chat, mates. And Joe Blakemore as well. Look, the reason I do that's football is because I watch a lot of football. I've always watched a lot of football. And I think, yeah, we've got the United stand and that's great. And United is my passion. But I spend a lot of time watching football. And one thing when I was growing up is that not everybody spends all their time talking about their club. Where I grew up in Nottingham, some of my mates were Liverpool fans. Some of them were Forest fans. Some of them were United fans. Some of them were Villa fans. So when you were talking about football, it was never just sitting there talking about United because everyone supported different clubs. So, and it's the same down the pub as you get older. You might know a Liverpool fan. You never know I've never known a City fan growing up, to be honest. And there weren't many Chelsea fans when I was growing up. But you might find an Arsenal fan. So you spend a lot of time talking about general football, and that's what this channel is about for me, because I've always watched a lot of football away from United as well. So that's football, is that place where it might be your team playing today, but on Thursday we'll do Chelsea against Spurs. It might not be your team, but it's a game you want to watch, and that's what that's football's about. It's about everybody getting involved, having a chat and watching matches that they're watching, because most people I know that watch football don't just watch their team. Any excuse to watch a match. Which defender from United would you want? Upamecano, Koulibaly, Ramos or Koundé? Konate, deadline day. Well, it's not going to happen tomorrow, Victor, but I'd take Koundé, I think. I think I would take Koundé. Koundé or Upamecano, and I think I'd go with Koundé. We're nearly into the last minute now. It'll be interesting to see how long gets added on. I'd love to see West Ham get a goal and set up a barnstorming finish. Arsenal have probably had the best window. Lots of deadwood out. Got Odegaard and looks like Van Aanholt on the way also. Everyone else been boring, says the Lions in pyjamas. Van Aanholt's a bit of a weird signing for them because although Kieran Tierney does get injured a lot, doesn't he? So you could see why. Tavares would be a good signing if he existed, Jordan, yeah. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. We are going to be live at 8 o'clock on the United Stand as well. It's the 8 o'clock show. Got Ricky on tonight. We will be talking Martial, we're talking Bruno, we'll be talking Van der Beek. Lots of discussion tonight about United and where they are. Salah's got it on the right hand side. He's going direct. He's been tackled though. Good tackle by Benrahma. West Ham trying. They've only got 3 minutes. I don't think there's going to be long enough added on here. When's Barcelona playing Real Madrid, Reds gaming? When is it? I am hungry now, Charlie. I've had a pork dinner, proper roast pork dinner already, so it will be something light for tea, but I am hungry, I've got to say. Yeah, there is a Tavares that's real, but not the Tavares that my career mode's got. My Tavares is a regen of Ronaldo, and he's a 19-year-old striker. Oh wait, I don't really do any betting anymore, Owain. No. Chips for tea. I'd love some chips for tea. I haven't had fish and chips from the chip shop in... God. I think I've had it once in the last 12 months. That's COVID's fault. I can't justify going to the chip shop and queuing up for fish and chips in a pandemic. Thanks, SF Dragon. It's getting there. Cooking with Goldbridge will be back. Yes, it will. Thanks for subscribing, Malavia. Let's see if we've only got 2 minutes left. Let's see if we're going to hit 310k. If you've not subscribed, bottom right hand corner, please. We were trying to hit 310k today. We're 100 away, so probably not going to quite do it. But bottom right hand corner to subscribe. That would be appreciated. We're closing in on 310,000. Everyone's welcome on this channel, of course. Very, very impressed by Liverpool tonight, by the way. Very, very good result for them. I think when you see that starting lineup without Mane, without Firmino, Phillips and Henderson at the back, an in-form West Ham side, you think, this could be a problem. This could be a real problem. But what we've been left with is, you know, have West Ham really looked like a team that's challenging for top four? No. Have Liverpool look like a side that's a title challenging side? Well, maybe not, but they've gone and got a very impressive win, and they got one at Spurs. They've taken 6 points in their last 2 games, in games where you would have thought they might slip up. So Liverpool have got their mojo back, they've got their confidence back, and they're building towards that Man City game, which is huge. And look, they've got Brighton on Wednesday night. I know they lost to Burnley, so you can't say they're definitely going to beat Brighton, but they beat Brighton. They've got 9 points from the last 3 league games, and they go into a game against Manchester City, which is going to be huge, this time next week. So fair play to Liverpool. They're back in it. They're a point behind United. They move. I think they go up to 3rd. I think they go ahead of Leicester. Yes, they do. 40 points for Liverpool, up to 3rd place. Man United on 41 and Man City on 44. Liverpool and Man City, next 2 games. Liverpool play Brighton. Man City play Burnley, both on Wednesday night. You'd expect them both to win that ahead of that massive game this time next week, 4:30. Liverpool, Manchester City at Anfield. And I think if Man City win that, they've probably done enough to get away from Liverpool for this season. If Liverpool win it, it's game on. Thanks everyone for watching. Please subscribe, bottom right hand corner, smash a like on the video. And remember, we're live at 8 o'clock with the 8 o'clock show. We've got Ricky, Kev, Beth on. Lots to talk about. I think there's going to be a few heated debates about that, about Martial and Bruno especially. I'll see you on there. Thanks for watching. Career Mode's back tomorrow on this channel. I'll see you later.